seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good, guys? Clutching your tummy here, back in another video. And for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Houston Texans. I'm going to be talking about one player, and specifically that the Houston Texans could possibly target, and in my opinion, should at least inquire for. And this player is New York Jets defensive tackle Quinnen Williams. And Quinnen Williams, it looks like he's pretty displeased with the way the New York Jets front office is handling his contract situation. It seems like he's pretty much not going to play another down or maybe even attend another practice, whatever the case may be, without a new deal. And it seems like he wants a lot of money guaranteed. He didn't quote tweet, but like he retweeted or he tweeted something out about, who was it? I believe it was one of the offensive tackles getting a deal, and he circled it with this pin and on the iPhone app. Like, you know how you can have like a pin and you can circle something on a screenshot? It's like he did something like that, and he purposely highlighted the $60 million guaranteed. So to me, that shows, hey, he probably wants a lot of money guaranteed on his contract, and he would probably want to be the highest paid defensive tackle. And the highest paid defensive tackle as of right now, I believe, is De'Aaron Payne with the Washington Commanders, who just recently got his deal. He's either the highest paid or like top 3 highest paid, and I would assume Quinnen Williams would definitely want to be the highest paid, and it's probably deserving. I don't think he's the best defensive tackle in the NFL. Obviously, there's still guys like Aaron Donald and whatnot, but he's still pretty young. He's still 26, going to be 27 next year. And he's been playing at a high level as of recently as well. And pairing up another Alabama guy on the defensive line with the Alabama pass rusher in Will Anderson, I feel like that's a dream duo. 2 Alabama guys. I'm sure DeMeco Ryans would be more than happy. He would be, there's not even a word to say. He would be overwhelmed in a good way by having 2 Alabama defensive linemen who are great at their jobs and probably going to be top 3 in their position in the near future for Will Anderson at least, or at least maybe top 5 at least, hopefully. But yeah, adding Quinnen Williams to this defense does so much because, right now, at defensive tackle, you don't have any long-term answers. Sure, you have a Sheldon Rankins, but he's only on a 1-year deal, and he's already 29, 30 almost. You have Roy Lopez. He's nothing more than a rotational piece for me. You got a couple other guys. Malik Collins, he's also going to be a free agent, I believe, next year. He's also pretty older, too, 29, 30, 28. So adding a guy who's still 26 in Quinnen Williams, who can do it all. He can stuff the run, and he can get to the passer as a defensive tackle. Maybe not as good as other guys, but he can still do a little bit of that. He can still rush the passer a little bit. In terms of how much it would cost, if we were to trade from right now, I have no idea. I would think it wouldn't cost too much because he still needs a contract and he's going to be a free agent next year. So maybe it would just be a second-round pick. I'm not sure how the Jets view that situation. For me, the most I personally would give is probably a second-round pick. I think they would want more. I'm not sure if they would get more, considering the positional value and the value that he's going to be a free agent next year and he needs a new contract. And if you don't want to pay up that much for him, you can, play the waiting game, see if he does hit free agency next year. I think it would be very unlikely that he hits free agency. Either the Jets would finally fold and end up giving him the contract that he wants, or the Jets would just play the long game and franchise tag him and just try to get him on a deal that the Jets like. Or they could just trade it to the highest bidder, which I would hope wouldn't be us. I don't want to be the highest bidder. I don't want to give up another plethora of draft picks like we just did for Will Anderson in the trade. I would probably, the max, as I said, would trade is maybe a second, maybe another mid-round pick, but something in that ballpark, like a second plus maybe a 4th or 5th. I'm probably going to be way off. If he does get traded, I'm probably going to be way off on how much he really goes for, but we'll see. But adding in Quinnen Williams, having a defensive core of Quinnen Williams, Will Anderson, Jalen Petrie, Christian Harris, and Derek Stingley Jr., I think that's building a great defense. That's building an elite defense right there. We have an elite D tackle, an elite pass rusher, or what seems to be an elite pass rusher. What seems to be an up and coming linebacker in Christian Harris. What seems to be an elite safety in Jalen Petrie. It seems to be an elite and all-pro cornerback in Derek Stingley. I feel like that's building up a great defense. But yeah, what are y'all guys' thoughts on adding Quinnen Williams? Would y'all want to trade for him? With that being maybe like a second and a fifth, second and a fourth? Would y'all want to see if he hits free agency next year and pray that he does and just not give up anything for him, but just sign him straight up in free agency? I doubt he would hit free agency, but you could play that game if you wanted to. Do you think he fits the defense? For me, I'm not really worried about fit here. Sure, fit is always important on a defense, especially in the defensive line. But for a guy that's as good as him, I'm sure we can make it work somehow. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on the video? Let me know down below in the comments. It's been Clutch City Entertainment, and I hope you guys have a good day. Peace.